Hi everyone, I'm Quintarrius Shakir. I'm going to be your psychic reader for today, and this is part 2 of the Celebrity Readings Legends Edition. We're going to find out about the life and death of Whitney Houston. So what I would like for you all to do is please go to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com and purchase a private psychic reading from me. You can also go to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com and you can get meditation mantras and other spiritual services as well. So, please like and subscribe to this video. Whether you like me or not, or you like my style of reading or not, I would like to hear about that in the comments. I appreciate all forms of feedback, so please leave me a comment below. And in addition to that, could you please share this video with your friends, your family, or your spiritual friends, spiritual family, fuck buddies, all of that. That would be so great for me. Okay, so we're in part 2 of the Whitney Houston reading, and I'm going to draw 2 to 3. Now I'm going to draw 3 oracle cards to figure out what was it that the spirits wanted to communicate to Whitney Houston for that day. So if I were to give Whitney Houston a reading on that particular day, what the spirits have said. Okay, spirits, what would you have said to Whitney? Okay, if the spirits could have spoken on that particular day, Whitney Houston felt trapped and tied up. She was feeling trapped and tied up by what? Work. Trapped and tied up by work, papers, documents, lyrics, things that needed to be written, things that needed to be signed. It wasn't just music that she needed to square away. She also needed to make sure that she was prepared for her. I'm hearing that there were other people in Whitney's family that were passing away, and in some way she didn't square away everything in the legal it's like there was something legal. Maybe what is this involving? What is this involving? Hold on, I'm getting a little bit stuck. Well, before I even go to my board, let me pull up the last card because I can't see the chart. Okay. It was actually, I'm wrong. It was involving her music. It was involved her. She felt very trapped and tied up in legal documents, papers. People weren't. Whitney Houston was not receiving as much money as she should have. For like the residual checks weren't coming in as frequently, and the amounts were not paying her as much as they should have. And when we're thinking in regards to inflation, for example, if a residual check for that she received maybe landed her, $18,000 a month with inflation, and this was back in the 1900s. So with inflation, Whitney Houston should have been making about, let's say, and this is not actual statistics, but maybe she could have been making $50,000 per month. But I'm hearing that the contracts kept changing and she was getting smaller percentages. Therefore, the money wasn't coming in as quickly from this old music. And it was rights to it, things like that. I'm just hearing that she felt trapped and tied up because she wasn't making as much money from her songs as she would have liked. And if she performed those songs on tour around the world, she wouldn't have been making as much money as she needed to. And it was the music. So that's why she was trying to create new music. Creating new music, new contracts, new income. New residual income. So things might not have been as bad. She was money minded. She was money minded that day. Okay. All right, so I'm going to shuffle my tarot, and the tarot is going to tell me what was on Whitney Houston's mind that night that she passed away. Money, in an imbalance. Obviously there was a financial imbalance in the money. Things that she didn't square away 20 years ago were now affecting her money right then. And the card of highest treachery. The card of highest treachery. And then there's Whitney Houston in the 1990s. Whitney Houston had been much too polite. She was all bark, no bite. So she demanded her money. She wanted her money, and I think that she used lawyers to get her money for her. But even then, I don't think that she could have negotiated for more. She bit off a lot less than she could chew. She could have chewed a lot more. She could have had more money. She could have negotiated for more. And those decisions were her failure to negotiate for more money in the 90s had come back to bite her in the ass later on, because what I'm hearing in my ears is that her voice had deteriorated, and Whitney Houston would have been doing Las Vegas shows. Let's just put it that way. She would have been doing shows in Las Vegas if she were to perform her old music, and they were sending her new music. That's how I'm hearing it in my ears. And then there was a man who was helping her, promising her things, promising her success for her music career, promising to help her make better financial decisions. This man was incredibly experienced, younger than she was. No, it's not Ray J. Because I was thinking about, is this Ray J? But now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, no, this is not Ray J. The spirits are like, no, it's not Ray J. So beyond that, money again, the roads being open for her and money, dramatic change that this man could bring. Her intellectualizing the situation. Without this man, Whitney Houston felt like the debts that were owed to her would never be paid. And I don't think they're ever going to be paid, because she's just by the way of contracts and the way the law works. This man had been promising that, hey, if you release this music, I can get you what you want and then some, because and he's saying this, I have done this for a long time, and I have helped people to revive their careers, and even if they don't, hit number one on the charts, they still make more money from their tours. And this man, she was cooperating with him. She was very cooperative. She believed this guy. This guy may have been a family member to her. If he wasn't a family member to her, he had been very close to the family, and they treated him like a family member. Handsome guy. She was not sexually attractive, but he was handsome. And he was trying to get Whitney Houston back to writing, especially because writing, this is just factually true, that, when you write something, it's forever, okay? It's residual income. It's money that will repeatedly come to you. And he was trying to get her more into writing because the voice had deteriorated. So even though she could get residual income from the intellectual property of her voice, they also wanted her to write more songs so that she could pass down that wealth to future generations of children, or pass down that wealth to her family. But it doesn't seem like that project was complete. And when I say that project, I'm talking about this, I'm considering this to be a legal project, because she was working with someone that wasn't a lawyer per se, but this man knew business law. He knew business law. And he was trying to not so much teach it to Whitney, but guide her into making the best legal decisions for her. The best legal decisions that would bring about the most financial prosperity. And that was what was on her mind. Was there anything else on Whitney Houston's mind? Because that she had 24 hours in that day. I mean, well, she had 24 hours, look, I don't know what time she died. But Whitney Houston was alive longer than 24 hours. She was in her 40s, I know that, so. Okay, we're going to shuffle enough. So was there anything else on Whitney Houston's mind? Treachery. A relationship. Walking away from a relationship with a woman who is extremely creative. This woman... Okay, Whitney Houston, there was a woman that was chasing after Whitney Houston, but Whitney Houston betrayed this woman. I think Whitney may have been a little bit of a player. I think she told this woman, hey, I like you a lot. I want to be with you, da-da-da-da, this is this. And this woman believed it. She had hopes that it could turn into something meaningful, but Whitney turned her back on the situation. She and the woman were platonic friends with each other. They balanced each other out. This woman was going to open up the doors for Whitney to find spiritual enlightenment, and it could have. And if she had allowed for this woman to come into her life, this woman could have fixed Whitney, in terms of helping her to let go of her addiction to drugs. Okay, so here I gotta pull another card. I mean, this woman could have been good for Whitney. She cared deeply about Whitney. This woman cared deeply about Bobbi Christina. I don't know if she had a relationship with Bobbi Christina, but she gave Whitney a lot of advice about parenting and being nurturing and rearing children. So, what I'm hearing in my ears is that anytime Whitney Houston felt that she failed, she failed to meet her daughter's needs, or she failed to meet the needs of her lover, this woman was there to hold up a mirror and say, no, this is who you are. This is how beautiful you are. And if Whitney had allowed for this relationship to expand itself, she would have not only had tremendous success, she would have also have had a better health, mentally and physically. This woman would have been her drug. She was addicted to it. Okay, roads being open. The woman, she was thinking, again, the relationship. The relationship's coming up. Relationship. Whitney Houston wanted the relationship. She settled for a friendship with this woman. And the doors were closed. The woman had to take the friendship because she loved Whitney. Whitney had a burning desire. Whitney was really, really, really good with compartmentalizing her emotions and keeping things in check. She was emotionally disciplined. But this woman was this woman was on her mind. This woman, her creativity. This woman was really good with her words. She may have not been a music artist, but this woman was incredibly skillful at easing the anxieties she massaged out the anxieties that were trapped inside of Whitney's mind. And in addition to that, this woman was very charming with her words. Whitney loved someone that was good with their words and someone that had a mastery over linguistics. All right. The night that Whitney Houston died, that's the next thing that we're going to investigate into. What happened that fateful night? I'm getting angry with these cards, so I'm shuffling harder. They feel like cardboard. But this deck is my favorite deck. I've only used 2 voodoo decks before. 2 tarot decks before. And they were all like African based. I'm drawing things out leading up into Whitney's death. Okay. This is just a spread that I made up. I'm trying to trace the events leading up into her death. Okay, so that day, Whitney Houston was in Whitney Houston was teachable that day. So you could have criticized her. You could have suggested. Look, she. What I'm saying is, you could have criticized her that day. She would have been open to it. You could have said, Whitney, I want to teach you how to do how to bake bread. Whitney would have been like, okay. Whitney was ready to create. She was ready to listen. The ancestors again had told her that today was supposed to be about leisure for her. But then again, I'm also saying here her overly intellectualizing a relationship with a woman, and this woman is connected to her. They were both thinking about each other. So earlier that day, this woman, Whitney and this woman had been speaking about, was the relationship intimate? I'm going to go to my board. Were she and Whitney speaking about anything intimate on that particular day? It says they were. It says speaking. It says about. It says about marriage. It says the. It says the possibility. It says the woman. It says the woman you. It says are. It says reading for had. It says had intentions to. It says try to. It says work through. It says Whitney's. It says Whitney's insecurities. It says with herself. Exclamation point. It says and. It says the woman wanted to. It says wanted to know. It says if. It says if in the right conditions would she try to allow the relationship to flourish. Period. So Whitney and this woman had been they had been in communication about the potentials of relationship. It was a lot of hypotheticals, just flirting. Girl, if we could, if this had happened, would you have been with me? And if this. All right. Rules, papers, the law, overwhelming feelings, the birth of a new outcome. The music. The music was on her mind. The woman she had been speaking with this woman about the relationship. The music was on her mind. Legal documents, papers, law institutions, overwhelming feelings, sending jolts of energy to her, and then the universe sending her the inspiration about this project, the music project, her getting it off the ground, her seeing success, stars around it, people wanting to support her. She spent time in that bathtub daydreaming. And then we're going to get to the bathtub. And now we're at the bathtub. All right, so this card usually speaks about conflict between two people, two things, two places. Or cooperation between two people, two things, and two places. What I'm hearing is that this is about drugs and alcohol. The two mix with each other, and they should not have mixed with each other. The alcohol and the drugs both sedated her. The alcohol distorted her common sense. She was in that bathtub. At first it was incredibly relaxing, but as Whitney started to drift out of consciousness, it was like a drunk, drugged sleep. It was one of those. Whitney had kind of gotten used to mixing these two vices together, and this was her normative way of relaxing. What went wrong, and they're not giving me what went wrong? Whitney died completely unconscious. Man, she died completely unconscious. The soul left the body before the body died. Whitney's soul left her body before her body died. If that makes any sense. The body died. The soul left maybe 5 minutes before the body died. Whitney did not feel that death, but the body convulsed. The body did convulse. The body did try to fight back. The body did try to revive itself, but it was too late because the drugs in her system, the water entering into her lungs, it just wasn't. And that's what they're telling me in my ears. It just wasn't. It was a deadly combination. She could have taken the drugs. Look, if Whitney had rolled out of the tub, she would have probably awakened within about 2 hours or so, and she would have had a terrible, terrible headache. Because I'm hearing that's usually what she felt. She felt terrible headaches afterwards. She kind of gotten used to that cocktail. It was her evening cocktail. But yeah, that's how it happened. It wasn't. I don't see foul play. I just see that the ancestors took her soul before they took her soul so that she couldn't be conscious of her death. I don't think the ancestors had it planned for her to die that day. Okay, so as I close out this reading, oops, 2 cards just fell out. As I close out this reading, what are these cards saying to me? So the cards that just fell out right now are speaking about giving, vanity, love. I think that there may be a message coming through, not from Whitney Houston's spirit. Well, it actually is Whitney Houston's spirit, but it's the echo of her spirit. She's not talking directly to me. She's just shouting out loud. So we're basically being privy to, or overhearing some conversation from the spirit realm. Whitney's soul right now is, and I was not intending to even read her spirit's energy, but from what I can hear about this echo, she's giving, loving, and Whitney is waiting. Whitney is waiting on the death of her lover, so that they can spend time with one another, because their souls are divided right now. And Whitney's soul never got to experience this relationship in its fullness, in its nakedness, with vulnerability. Her feelings are still hidden, but it is the end. She's speaking from the other side. It's an echo from the other side. It's basically a love cry, okay? But was there foul play? I'm not seeing foul play. I'm not seeing foul play. Even then, at the end, the ancestors removed the physical head, replaced it with the spiritual head. What I mean by this is that the ancestors took the soul before they took the body. I got that wrong. They removed the spiritual head and replaced it with the physical head. She was not conscious. It was just a vessel. It was a vessel that was in the tub. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know Whitney Houston like that. I don't really know how she died. I just know it was a bathtub. I don't know if it was drugs or alcohol involved. Did not read an autopsy report. I really don't know. But that's what the cards are showing me. I'm not suspecting any foul play. But there were 2 people that discovered the body. There was no Whitney died joyfully, if only because her last thoughts were about her relationship with this woman and about the prosperity that was coming for her career. Okay? With all of that said, please go to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com and purchase a private psychic reading. Please subscribe to my video. Please like my video. Give me a thumbs up. Thumbs down are awesome as well. Leave a comment in my comment section to let me know if you enjoyed this, and if you didn't, that's fine too. Nevertheless, please go to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com and support me. purchase a private psychic reading, read some of the blogs. I'm Quintarrius Shakir, otherwise known as the Psychic Professor, and I will see you all next time for my next Legends reading.
I just wanna fly away. First class out of space.